That's interesting. Hey guys, we're working out of the studio today. I'm trying to get caught up on some projects. A bit colder. Yesterday was 70 degrees. Today it was 46 degrees when I got up at 4 a.m. Currently it's 34 degrees, so the temperature's dropping. Tonight's going to be in the 20s. So starting on the well tomorrow is going to be a very cold morning. So the auger came in the mail, even with all the Christmas holidays, so I can start the project on the well with a whole new idea. Last time I drilled that with a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe with a water head and 2 water hoses, and I got to 26 feet. The water should be somewhere around 30 to 32 feet, but I fell just short before I hit what I believe to be a bed of marl, which is the ancient seabed, and the water pressure just really wasn't enough to wash that sediment up. So now I'm going to start a new hole, and I'm going to use this auger. This is basically a manual post hole digger. As you can see the cutting edges here. As you turn this and push into the ground, this cuts the dirt in the bottom and this the sides, and it fills this up with dirt. You pull it out of the hole, dump it, you stick it back in. Comes on a handle, 3 feet long wood handle. When you get down to the maximum depth, you simply take a pipe wrench here and a pipe wrench here and unthread this, stick in a section of 5-foot galvanized pipe, put it all back together, put the handle on it, and keep digging. The videos I've seen in soil that's a little bit harder than what we have here, they've actually gone 30 feet in 2 to 3 hours. So this will be an interesting project, or it'll be another fail on the well, and Rob will come up with another idea. So let's just talk for a few minutes about why a well is so important here on our homestead, and why this is the project we joke about the most, Rob's failure with the well. I've only actually had one failure, and it was so close that it was disheartening. Using the method with the water jet, with the PVC pipe, it went down quick. We were all amazed at how well that was going, and when it reached that 26-foot mark, done. It just locked up, no more water's coming out of the ground. So I had to research for a different way to do it, and that's where the auger comes in, that we're going to give a good attempt to tomorrow. Short of that, I don't know mechanically drilling a well may be the method to go. I can, if I get down with this one to 30 feet and I'm just not in the water table, I can always use a sand point and punch the rest of the way. But it only gives you 1.25 inch well casing at that point, and I'm really hoping to have a 4 to 6 inch well casing for the volume of water. By having the well, I'll be able to hook up a high volume pump, a high pressure pump, and deliver a lot more water to the garden in the zones that we're watering quicker, faster, and more efficiently. The garden will be set up with underground irrigation, because this year we're going to start to set the permanent rows, and they'll be mounded, and they'll have ground cover with holes where specific crops plant, and those won't come out every year. Every year you just add nutrient to them and they become permanent. There's no more tilling. I think I mentioned that we're adding another 100 by 150 foot of garden area plus the orchard, so we'll have 40,000 square feet roughly planted, which is just short of an acre. An acre is 43,000 square feet. So really we're going to be right at an acre's planting this year, and I need to set up water. Once we get the well in and get the well house built on it and get the pumps in, we'll put in manifolds that are electronically timed, so everything can be set to zones. 3 a.m. this underground watering for rows 1 through 8 can come on, and it can start to soak that ground, and an hour later that can switch off and the wobble heads can come on, or the overhead irrigation. I'll do a complete video series on how we set up the manifolds. Probably going to power that with an inverter, 12 volt, and solar panels, so that I never need to worry about the power going out and not being able to get my zone coverage the way I want. I think I discussed in the prior video, once I get the well casing setting in, we'll run an 1.25 inch black line down with a foot valve, and we'll put a jet pump, which is an above ground pump, to handle the main irrigation system. But I'm also going to install a submersible solar powered pump We'll put a couple batteries with it. At daylight hours it will run, or it can run off that battery power. So that in the case we have a grid down situation, power outage, a storm comes through, I don't have to worry about not being able to deliver water, because the solar powered system should be able to kick in and run as backup on the manifold. So it's going to be an interesting project. We'll get started early in the morning. I've got to run over to Home Depot and pick up some sections of galvanized pipe so I can extend this. Of course, I'll do the whole video on how we're doing it, but I will I'm hoping anyway to be able to post a video tomorrow evening, or at least by the end of the weekend, that says how to drill a successful well with a hand auger, and give people the information. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube currently. One guy just seems to drill a well and get success every time, and it seems like other people are limited by the depth they can go, and so they obviously have failure. Because if what you do is you study, there's maps of every area in the country that tell you what the average depths of wells are in that area. Very few places are you going to hit a good well at 18 feet. Here we're looking at 30 to 32 feet is the average, so it's not a really deep well, but that's also because we're close to the coast. It's a sandy soil. The water runoff goes in and fills the water tables quickly. Probably never have a problem with water here once you get into that water table, because the water tables stay full, if anything over full, and then the ground gets saturated. So tomorrow morning we'll get out there. 26 degrees is what they're forecasting, so I'll get to Home Depot, get the tractor fired up, get it moved over, because I'll take the dirt from the auger right into the bucket. So this ought to be another interesting video coming from Fit Beach Life on the Homestead Edition. And of course, as always, hit the like button down there and subscribe to the channel, because this is just going to continue to grow. We have so many homesteading projects to get through, Tracy and I, this year alone. By the end of winter, we need to get the silage covers down and try to kill the weeds in the garden areas that we're going to do primarily. We've got to set up the caterpillar tunnel sometime in March. The small greenhouse, I've got to cut the roof off of it, reframe everything, put new panels in it, and make it a little more hurricane sturdy, because it didn't hold up well. We'll start the barn project probably in the next week or two, and at least start getting a post in the ground, the top framing in on that, to set the granddaughter's barn so she can get the horse that she keeps asking me about. That I've got to prioritize that project now. We need to build another chicken coop. We've got the incubator now. I don't think I mentioned that. Got an incubator for Christmas that does 56 eggs at a time. We'll add that in a video tomorrow. So we've just got so many projects, and we plan to, as we go forward, instead of the scattered videos that we've been producing, we intend to take a focus on how-tos. How to homestead, how to incubate eggs, how to build a chicken coop, how to put up a caterpillar tunnel. So how-to homesteading will be the theme now for Fit Beach Life, as we try to help people that are coming into this understand. And we're in a unique situation here, because we farmed in West Virginia. We ran cattle, and I've been through that in the other videos. We ran a lot of livestock. We grew a lot of food. We had the orchards. So we've already been through the trials and errors. So by moving to North Carolina, I have to reset up a homestead, and hopefully all of the knowledge I gained is knowledge that I can put into your hands and show you this is the best way we found to do it. Might not be the only way, but it is the best way that we found to move forward on the homestead. North Carolina has been challenging at times. The heat is different. The humidity is a little bit different. Not that West Virginia doesn't get hot and humid in the late summer months. Here it's a continuous process. And we have longer growing seasons. You can actually start tomatoes from seed. We're in what they call Zone 8A. So you can actually start tomatoes in your garden from seed. You don't need plants. That's new to us. You can have two crops of tomatoes per season. You can plant longer cycles. You've really got 2 growing seasons down here. So we're going to go through a lot of things. I hope you stick around, and I hope that you stick around for the well drilling video tomorrow, and I hope that I get a success on that, because I don't want to come back on this channel and say, well, that didn't really work, so I've got this other great idea. At some point, I guess I cut my losses in pay, but paying somebody $3,000 or $4,000 to drill a well, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to drill this well, and I'm going to win at it. So hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to be notified every time we put a new video up. You'll get a notification on that. Like the video and share it with your friends. Help us become a successful channel. Thank you.